Hello everyone, I'm Prerna Juneja from University of Washington. I'm here to present our paper where we investigate misinformation that is algorithmically curated by YouTube platform. In the past few years, several journalistic reports have accused YouTube's algorithm of driving people into the internet's darkest corners. So you see opinion pieces like this in the press that call YouTube a great radicalizer. And in response to these accusations, last year YouTube said that it will start recommending fewer misinformative videos. But all these journalistic reports and even YouTube's response itself are anecdotal. That is, there is no enough empirical evidence to prove any of these claims or to disprove YouTube's counter response. So the aim of our study was to verify these anecdotal claims. That is, we wanted to determine whether YouTube surfaces problematic content in its searches and recommendations, and if so, then under what conditions. So we verified these claims by performing systematic audit experiments on the platform. And we considered one particular type of problematic content, that is conspiracy theories. So these are the three research questions that our study answers. In the first research question, we ask whether users' demographics like age and gender or users' location have any effect on the amount of misinformation that is presented to users. In the next question, we investigate the effect of users' watch history. That is, what if user builds history by watching videos that are all pro-conspiracy or all neutral or all debunking? What happens then? In the third research question, we want to compare the topics, like for which topic does YouTube return the most misinformative content. So this is our audit pipeline. We started by selecting 5 conspiratorial topics that are high impact. That is, they are popular, perennial, and demonstrably false. Next, we curated search queries for all the selected topics using Google Trends and YouTube's autocomplete suggestions. And we audited 3 components of YouTube: the up next video, the top 5 recommendations, and YouTube search results. Now coming back to the first research question, to test the effect of demographics, we considered 4 different age groups and binary gender and created 8 accounts with these combinations. And to study the effect of geolocation, we determined hot and cold locations for each of the 5 topics. Hot regions are the states where the topic was most searched, and cold regions are the states where the topic was least searched. For example, the flat earth topic was most searched in Montana and least searched in New Jersey. And so we created 2 accounts for each topic that were run from different locations. So once we have the search queries, we can launch our audit experiments. We conducted 2 sets of audits, search and watch, each consisting of 2 experiments. In the search audit, we investigated YouTube's search algorithm and created brand new accounts that had no history whatsoever. Whereas in watch audit, the accounts had built some history by watching videos of certain stance. Here we investigated both YouTube's search as well as recommendation algorithm. A byproduct of these audits were around 3,000 unique videos that were manually annotated for their stance on the conspiracy theories. That is, whether the video promotes, has a neutral stance, or debunks the conspiratorial topic. And then we performed statistical tests on the annotated data. Now let's discuss the results of the statistical tests. In the first research question, we found that for brand new accounts, demographic and geolocation do not have an effect. However, once account builds a history, both demographics and geolocation exert an effect on recommendations, but for certain combinations of topic, stance, and component. So for example, males watching neutral videos on certain topics received more conspiratorial recommendations than female accounts. For the second research question, we found that watch history has a significant effect only for search results of vaccine controversy topic. We found evidence of a filter bubble effect where accounts watching anti-vaccination videos received more such videos in their search results. Watch history also has a significant effect on the recommendations. And here is the interesting part. Recall, I just told you that if you watch anti-vaccine videos, you get anti-vaccine videos in search results. However, if you watch anti-vaccine videos, YouTube actually recommends debunking videos in the up next and top 5 components. In the third research question, where we wanted to determine the topic-wise difference, we found that chemtrails topic had significantly more misinformative search results than other topics. On the other hand, 9/11 conspiracy topic had significantly more misinformative recommendations than other topics. Now, what are the takeaways and contributions of our work? So first, we developed the methodology to audit search engines for misinformation, which we hope will be emulated and applied to other platforms. We have released a dataset of 56,000 videos linked to the stance of video and the personalization attribute audited. And through our audits, we were also able to identify vulnerable populations who are presented more misinformation than others. So for example, we discussed how men were recommended more misinformative videos than females. So one of the implications of our findings is that YouTube might be reacting to certain media reports. It seems that it is handpicking topics and modifying its algorithms selectively. So now what's happening is that while YouTube is recommending debunking videos to those who are watching anti-vaccine content, the same thing does not happen when users search for vaccines on the platform. So finally, to conclude by what we started with, we find that YouTube has started modifying some of its algorithms for certain topics, but it has a long way to go before it can mitigate the misinformation problem from its platform. That's all I had. Thank you very much.